I collect. I only tell the stories I collect and have collected. None of the stories I tell are from books.
According to Angela Burke, Ireland has many storytellers that are also interpreters who make the stored materials palatable to the imagination and memory of listeners through the imagination and fantasy. But it is possible to wonder, who are these storytellers? One of them is Eddie Lenihan, more commonly called Eddie Lenihan.
He's a storyteller, collector, and writer. He studied linguistics at the University College of Galway. Yet he decided that, and I quote Eddie Lenihan saying, "What people say is more interesting than how they say it." Today there is a decline in storytelling. This phenomenon makes him even more valuable due to his rare storytellings. According to Angela Burke, the art of storytelling is now confined mainly to small groups of people who rarely only tell stories for the sake of having them recorded. So a question arises. What is the point of these folklore stories? Storytelling is a social phenomenon simply because if you couldn't sing a song, dance, or tell a story, back in the days you'd be bowed out into the dark because it would teach the person who had no story to have one.
Storytelling is a way to entertain, since a few years ago people had no TV, no radio. But we can go further by saying that these stories have a didactic quality.
Storytelling is also used to convey a message. Angela Burke states that a story is a series of codes for a whole complex stored information about landscape, community relations, gender roles, and medicine. She also adds that storytelling remains as a major outlet for cultural expression, as well as an important educational significance. Eddie Lenihan is important because he keeps people informed of the past by continuing to tell them his oral stories. Eddie Lenihan helps people in Ireland rediscover and reconnect with their significant heritage of storytelling. Therefore, storytelling can be seen as a way to protect the Irish heritage and keep it alive.
Whether he has an impact on Ireland as such, I'm not sure. He certainly has an impact on the individual listeners when he tells his stories. He has a very entertaining style. He uses a lot of physicality in his storytelling, which is great. And of course, primarily the function of this storytelling style is to entertain. But it also, particularly legends and things like that will have a didactic quality to it. They have a quality of messages. They have a lesson to teach or to tell. So there is an influence in that respect. I think in terms of on the national scene, I think he has an important role in a certain respect in that he's one of the few storytellers that are constantly out there putting himself in front of people and telling stories. So he reminds people of this oral tradition that we have and a lot of the beliefs that go hand in hand with that oral tradition. He's a strong streak of supernatural elements in his stories, and even though a lot of people dismiss those kinds of tales, there is there's something to it. Even if people don't believe it themselves, he's reminding people of what traditional beliefs were, and in some cases still are in lots of places in Ireland. So he does, I suppose, have an influence in that regard.
Hello, we are at the Limerick City Centre Art Gallery and we are at the exhibition about Eddie Lenihan. Here's a video about him and the fairy bush.
This video is about the fairy bush that is found in County Clare, and the exhibition with all the garbage around is the garbage that was piled up near the fairy bush during its lifetime near the road.
Therefore, by telling all these stories about this fairy bush, Eddie Lenihan protected this fairy bush and thus the landscape of Ireland. Thank you. Objects collected were found right next to a fairy bush in County Clare. This is why the art gallery in Limerick believed that this garbage was significant for Irish folklore. Eddie Lenihan protected that fairy bush, and thanks to his intervention, he protected his land. To conclude this video, it is vital to say that storytelling is a way to connect people and to make them realize that Ireland's heritage needs to be protected. Thank you.